G'day, welcome to factorising. What we're going to do today is we're going to muck around with a bit of factorising, and we're going to start off with finding factors. So to find a factor, what we're going to need to do is, say for example, we need to find a factor of 20. So to find factors of 20, we need to remember how we can make 20. So we can make 20 using 4 times 5. So that they're two factors of 20. Now if we needed to find the factors of 4, we could make 4 by 2 times 2. The key thing with factors is its multiplication. So don't worry about adding or subtracting, multiplication. We need to know how to make 20. We can make 20 by 4 times 5, and we can make 4 by 2 times 2. So if we needed to write out the factors of 20, the factors of 20 are 2, 4, and 5, and we can make 20 by 2 times 10 as well. So I'm going to put the 10 there as well. So that's how we do our factors. Thank you. Now, interestingly enough, we can also have algebraic factors. So if, for example, we had 15 and 10x, as we do in question 6, to find our highest common factor, we need to work out what numbers go into 15 and 10. So the highest number that goes into both of them, we can divide them both by 5. So the highest common factor is 5. We call this the HCF. Now, if we get a different one, like for example 6D, where we've got 7xy plus 14x, our highest common factor actually happens to be 2 parts. 7 goes into both numbers, so we've got 7 as part of our highest common factor. We've also got x in both, so we can actually call the highest common factor 7x. So if you're doing this, what we're looking for is something that will go in both of the parts, both of the terms. Now, if we're looking at, say for example, question 2, where we've got 14 and 26, and we're given the factors, and we're asked to find the highest common factor. So, we can set the factors of 14 is 2, 1, 2, 7, and 14. We know that the factors of 26 are 1, 2, 13, and 26. So to work out our highest common factor, once we've found all the factors, we just look for the one that's the same. The highest one that's the same is 2, so we can call that our highest common factor. Now, when we're asked to actually factorise something, what we're looking at doing is whereas last time we were getting rid of the brackets, this time we're actually putting the brackets in, finding something that we can pull out. So we could do the example 6x plus 15. So the highest common factor in both of those is 3. We can divide 6x by 3, and we can divide 15 by 3. So we can divide both of those. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and divide them both by 3. So 6x divided by 3, 6 divided by 3 is 2. We've still got our x, and 15 divided by 3 gives us 5. Now our common factor is what goes out the front of our brackets. So our common factor in this one was 3, so we end up with 3 lots of 2x plus 5. Now things can get a little bit more complicated. Say for example if we had 12a plus 18ab. Looking at those, we need to think of what we can make 12 and 18 both by. So I'm going to pick 6 because I know 6 goes into 12 and I know 6 goes into 18. I could stop there, but I wouldn't have fully factorised that expression. Because I can also see that I've got an A and an A here. So what I'd be looking to do is, instead of dividing by 6, I'm going to divide by 6a. So when I do that, I've got 12 divided by 6 gives me 2. 12a divided by 6a, 2. Plus, I've got 18ab divided by 6a. 18 divided by 6 is 3. The a's cancel each other out, so I'm just left with b. And then I need to put my factor out the front. So I divided by 6a. Like I said, these things take a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. You need to look at what you can use to find each factor. If we have something like 21x minus 14y. Our common factor, 21 and 14, they both ring a bell. I reckon they're both in the 7s. So we'll divide by 7 on both terms, and that's our common factor. So 21 divided by 7 gives me 3x. Got a negative now, so negative 2y. Got to put our common factor out the front, so we divided by 7. So there's our factorised form. I'll do 2 more. We'll have a go at minus 10a minus 20. So in this one, what would I divide by? I've got 10 and 20. I reckon they're both going to go into 10. So we're going to divide them both by 10. Our negative stays the same. So we can either put the negative in or out of the brackets. I like to put it outside, so I'm going to divide by minus 10 since they're both negative. So I'm going to have minus 10 out the front of my brackets. 10 divided by 10 is 1, so I end up with a, or 1a, minus 2. 20 divided by 10 is 2. Now, I made a mistake here. I've taken that negative factor out, so it's going to be a plus. I don't want you to worry too much about pulling negatives out at the moment, but we'll deal with that a bit later. Last one, and this is probably one of the harder ones that we're going to do, x squared plus 4x. So what I'd be looking for you to say to me is that x squared is just x times x plus 4x. So my common factor in this one is x and x. So I'm going to pull my x's out. I'm going to pull an x out. And if I pull one x out, I'm left with x plus 4. And that's really as hard as factorising gets for year 8. A little bit later we're going to do some harder ones, but that should be enough to get you started. Okay? We'll have a further go at this a bit later. Have a good day.